Hello students, welcome to VT Guru. ಈ ವಿಡಿಯೋದಲ್ಲಿ ಇಂಟ್ರೊಡಕ್ಷನ್ ಟು ಎಲೆಕ್ಟ್ರಿಕಲ್ ಇಂಜಿನಿಯರಿಂಗ್ ಈ ಒಂದು ಸಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟ್ಗೆ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಕ್ವಶನ್ಸ್ ನಾವು ನಿಮಗೆ ಪ್ರೊವೈಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ. ಮಾಡೆಲ್ ವೈಸ್ ಇದೆ, ಒನ್ ಬೈ ಒನ್ ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಹೋಗೋಣ. ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡೆಲ್, ವಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಓಮ್ಸ್ ಲಾ, ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಲಿಮಿಟೇಷನ್ಸ್, ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಡಿಫೈನ್ ಕಿರ್ಚಾಫ್ ವೋಲ್ಟೇಜ್ ಲಾ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಕಿರ್ಚಾಫ್ ಕರೆಂಟ್ ಲಾ. Use proper justification, show how voltage divides across resistors in a series circuit and current divides in a parallel configuration. Distinguish between conventional and renewable energy sources with examples. Explain the generation process in hydro and solar power plants. Alternatively, illustrate solar and wind generation using block diagrams. Illustrate the single line diagram SLD of a typical electrical power system and explain each component involved. Solve numerical problems based on Ohm's law, Kirchhoff current law and Kirchhoff voltage law. Next, model 2. Derive the relationship between the voltage and current for so on circuits using appropriate phasor diagrams. Define sinusoidal current and voltage equations and explain waveform, amplitude, frequency, phase, time period, phase difference, average value, RMS value, form factor and peak factor. Next question. Discuss the concept of average value of an alternating signal and derive its expression using the peak value. Explain how a single phase alternating voltage is generated with appropriate waveforms and explanation. Define apparent power, active power and reactive power. Also explain power factor and the basic difference between single phase and three phase AC systems in terms of generation. Show that the RMS value of an AC is proportional to its peak value with proper derivation. Derive the formula for form factor of an AC waveform. Explain the relationship between phase and line voltages and currents in a star and delta 3 phase systems. Model 3. Explain the torque and EMF equations for a DC generator. Use appropriate notation. With the diagram, describe how a DC generator is constructed, detailing each part. Okay, next question. What are the functions of key components in a DC machine such as yoke, winding, commutator, pole core, pole shoe and brushes? Explain the operating principle of a DC motor and support it with diagrams. Illustrate and explain the characteristics of a DC series motor using graphs. Compare and explain the following characteristics for both DC series and shunt motors. Torque versus armature current, speed versus armature current. Next, model 4. Define transform slip and slip speed. Derive the equation for rotor frequency with appropriate assumptions. Derive the transform EMF equation using standard notations. Discuss transformer efficiency. Derive the condition for maximum efficiency at any load and power factor. Describe different types of losses in a transformer and explain each briefly. Explain the construction and operation of a transformer and compare shell type and core type structures. Explain the working of a rotating magnetic field and prove that the net EMF remains constant at any given instant. With diagrams, describe the construction and components of a three-phase induction motor. Last model, fifth model. Derive unit of electrical energy used in power billing and explain the two-part TRIF method along with its pros and cons. What is electrical earthing? Describe the different types of earthing system with sketches. Illustrate and explain the working of a basic AC power supply system using a single line diagram. Explain the principle of operation of fuses and MCBs. Also describe casing and capping and RCCB with functions. Explain two-way and three-way control of lamps using wiring diagrams and truth tables. Mention the power ratings of common household appliances like ACs, laptops, PCs, printers, etc. and calculate total energy usage. What precautions should be taken to avoid electric shock? Write a short explanatory note. Okay students, 5 model ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ ಮಾಡಿವಿ. ಇವೆಲ್ಲ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಕ್ವಶನ್ಸೇ, ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಂದು ಆದಷ್ಟು ಕವರ್ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕೆ ಟ್ರೈ ಮಾಡಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಈ ವಿಡಿಯೋನ ಇಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಎಂಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ. ನಿಮಗೆ ವಿಡಿಯೋ ಇಷ್ಟ ಆಗಿದ್ರೆ ಪ್ಲೀಸ್ ಲೈಕ್ ಮಾಡಿ, ಶೇರ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಮತ್ತು ಸಬ್ಸ್ಕ್ರೈಬ್ ಮಾಡಿ. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ಸ್ ಫಾರ್ ವಾಚಿಂಗ್.